Kelly, the Roman warrior. Chapter 5, Vampire versus Vampire. Ah, but I also do not think alone, whispered Edward mysteriously, and he pulled out the Twilight book and put it onto an altar full of blood. He starts to chant an ancient spell, and the book filled with blood and began to rise up into the air by a magic. I call you, Stephanie Meyer, come to your servant aid, he cried, and suddenly the room went cold, and an evil wail filled the air. Edward, I am here to help you. The ghost of a woman appeared in the room. It was the spirit of Stephanie Meyer, the writer of the Twilight book. Ha ha! She who created me is here. Now what power do you have to stop her and me at once? Yellowed Edward, and the battle began. Edward pulled out a sword, and so did Dracula, and they began to sword fight on the blood carpet in the room. Kells went against the evil spirit of Stephanie Meyer, and drew her bow and arrow, and began to shoot at the spirit, but the arrow was ineffectual. Oh no, the bow and arrow is unless I must get my father's sword. And so she pulled out the sword, and felt the strength of Caesar run through her. The spirit did a dark spell and shooted a spirit bolt at Kelly, but ere father's shield blocked the attack. Meanwhile, Draculaca had pinned Edward to the ground with his sword and was trying to kill him, but he was dodging the attack. Your pathetic writing shall not harm any more people, yellowed Kelly, and slashed the bloody book of Twilight, and it burned with a red flame, and the spirit screamed in pain. No, I am the best writer in the world. And then the spirit faded into the sky and disappeared. We have got you now, Edward. Stephanie Meyer cannot save you, said Kells, and she went to do final blow on him. But he turned into a bat and flew out the window. You might have won this, Tim Dracula, but next time it will be me, he shouted evilly, and flew away. Thank you for helping mentioned Dracula. Here, take this blood. And so she took the cup of blood and put into Elka's saddlebag. Come on, Elkas, now we must go to the Cave of Skulls, said Kelly. I will come too, said Dracula. I know, they say, sir, he was a good man. I will save him with you. And so, then set off for Castle of Skulls, for find the ogre brain. Chapter 6, Finding the Ogres. Dracula and Kelly walked out of the Dracula castle and started on way to Mount Terrybell and Cave of Skulls, forgetting the ogre brain. The way to Cave of Skulls was back through the cold snow mountains and into the mountains of terror, where it was dark and scary. They carried on in the cold snow mountains until they got to the entrance through the mountains of terror. The stone was cooler of blood, and the sky was black, and it looked like the sky was on fire, and it was rain, blood, and fire, and darkness. It was a horrible place. But they had to go in to get the Brian. So they went in. The Cave of Skull was a drac cave, and the walls were made of skulls of many people, and it smelled like dead body. Oh no! Dracula and Kells creeped inside and looked around for an orgy for taking the brain. Eventually, they got to back of cave and sucked with a green ogre asleep in the dark cave. So Dracula did a vampire magic spells and stunned the ogre. Horrible ogre, now you will give us the Brian for the spell, yellowed Dracula, and the ogre turned around. He was very fat and had funny ears like Toby's, and he said, No, you don't want my Brian. It is a small Brian. I am called Shark, the ogre, and I am not evil like the others. Why trust you, scum? mentioned Dracula, and then Kel said, "Och, if you can show us where to get a new brain, I will spare you live." "Och," said Shrek, "I will find a new one." And so he went out. "First, I must find Donkey and Cat in Boots, and they will help defeat the ogre." And so Shrek went to look for it, and then he came back with Donkey and Cat in Boots. "Hello, I am Shrek's best friend. It is Ture. He is not an evil like other ogres. He is a good one." "Och," said Kelly, and so they set off to find a new ogre to take the Brian.